Hello and welcome to watch tutorial of drop zone grasses. I try to be short this time. Let's go through the package. When you first download it and open it first time in your project, you will have two folders under the content folder. The package basically is under the DZ grasses folder, but because I'm giving you free palm trees also in this package, there's also the DZ trees. So if you're familiar with my tree packages, the drop zone tree packages, there's always this kind of folders under the DZ trees. Master materials and instances, so you will have two master materials and those instances. Material functions, then you have tree specific material instances, the meshes under the current tree, a date palm, royal palm, and one windmill palm at this time. So, and MPCs, a material parameter collection, which is controlling the wind with only one value, and some textures for the trees. So this is about the trees. But this package is about the grasses and how to use them. So I'm giving this 500 meters times 500 meters showcase map as a template how to use these grasses. You have 120 grass mats to use, and we have used PCG graphs to spawn them nicely and accurately here. So you can see a meadow grass, you can see some nice grass cuts. Just at the first look, grass is everywhere, there is wind in all the little bit longer grasses. Of course you can do modifications as you wish. Okay, let's go through the grasses back. We have decals first here, and under the decals there is a material. This is the decals master material, and then we have 8 instances. There is 2 American football fields, 3 soccer fields, and 2 rugby fields, and then there is some tennis area with 3 tennis courses. And you can see some of them here in there are 3 examples of those football fields, and then there is that one tennis court area. Those are examples of the decals. So, and using them is very easy. Basically, you just drag them here, and that's it. And you can see it blends nicely also to the grass. But every decal has we have a little bit adjusted and added to normal decals, so you can have some parameters to control how it's blending, and if you have a different layer of the landscape under it, you can make the blend much more accurate with the current grass landscape layer. Okay, so it's a really nice feature. We are not just adding some transparent normal decal only. We have a nice blend, height blend also in this decal. Okay, so 8 decals, that's about it. Then we have landscape. We have 8 landscape layers, height blended layers, and these 7 first layers are exactly the same, and this last one, which is for the bunker sand, it's there's few parameters more, but basically they're all the same kind. And just to show a little bit of a one, there's some basic things for the basic texture setups, and then there's some variations and normal map and things like that. And these are all, you know, like you see, this is layer A, and every parameter is like having own name, and they have their, of course, own group. So to get a master material instance in which you have all these layers as their own, it required these different material function layers. And the master material of the classes looks like this. We have material functions here for each layer, and then we have the blending of them. And as you can see here in the final node, or the one before it, in the layer blend, you can see that there is also the height. So they are blending nicely using the height map textures. Alright, then we have maps, but only one map, and it's this map you're seeing. And we press G button, we can see a little bit. There is PCG volumes, there is splines we have used in those volumes. So this is the map. We go through the basic logics a little bit later. And under the maps, this is Unreal Engine's basic feature that it saves the layer info under the map folder. Nothing really special about that. Then we have master materials. We have four of them, and then we have material instances. UI just sometimes is lagging a little bit with these icons, but they're all working nicely. And these level versions means that I wanted to tweak my basic grass setups a little, but I didn't want to mess up those basic values. So I have material instances for these versions that are in this level. So the level comes from this map or level, but this is called level in Unreal Engine, so we use the word level here. So these are for all the grasses meshes for the level. And we have material functions, mostly some wind settings, and for copying some kind of variation part for the grasses, and then some season settings for the grass. They are basically from the DJ trees, and but they give they can very easily get some nice variations to your grasses. So we have wanted to add it in this grass pack as a material function. Okay, then we have material instances. All but the flag is for grasses. So we have material instances, and then we have flag. So I wanted to add a flag to the golf course, and then I wanted to make a version for the soccer field's corner flags. So this is for it. And then you can see we have grass 10 centimeter, 15 centimeter, and then watch carefully, it's 15 millimeters, not centimeters, and 20 centimeter, 25 millimeter, 25 centimeter, and so on. And then we have a little bit different kind of stalk grass, which is grass that has a stalk like this, and those grass blades are attached to it. So it's a little bit different kind of it requires stalk material and the grass material. That's why we have here this stalk material also and stalk grass material. And we have grass short material because we have disabled the wind effect. So basically we have just taken the world position offset away from the material, just just for performance reasons, you really don't need a wind for this size of grass or this height. Okay. So hope I'm making myself clear. This is a little bit much to tell in the short time. But these are the material instances for the grasses, and then there are the meshes. We have exactly the same folders under the meshes and under the material instances. But of course, what's inside of them? Here are the meshes. And as you can see, there are sparse and dense versions, and then there is versions where it's more dry grass blades and so on. So we have quite many versions of some of these grasses, and then when it's real short grass we have a little bit less versions. And here you can see we have level versions of these meshes I have used in this showcase map. Okay, and of course there were those level versions of the instances also, just not to mess up the basic settings. Like this. 120. Like you can see, Unreal is just a little bit lagging with those icons. They are all working properly and nicely. And of course, under the DZ grasses we have also this material parameter collection. Just one value. Here we can see the wind. If we put 0, it stops. With 1, with 2, it starts to be quite heavy. But 1.5 maybe, or 0.5, whatever you want. But the 1 is the basic value, and it's good. It's 1 also for the trees, which is good. I think they're quite the same level. But there's 1 for the wind for the grasses and 1 NPC for the grass. So, but of course, you can modify the materials, but I think it's the best way to have separate ones. But of course, you can make them use the same one. So it's the whole environment using 1 NPC, and it's easy to use in games. So, but just to keep, you know, if you want to have my grasses packs and tree packs and migrate them and some of them to other packages, I want that they keep working properly. Okay, then we have this PCG folder, and here are all the PCG graphs. If we watch this golf graph, this is the most complicated, and you can see one output result here. Static mesh spawner is disabled, sorry, and it's for the greens. It's the bunkers and the greens. There's the bunker and the green are the only places we don't have grass. But if I want to enable it, I can. And it's calculating a little bit. And now we have grass. But I personally think it's better as a texture because the grass is so short. But anyhow, so this is as a default, it's disabled. Okay. I just want to save it back to where it was, and so. So here is all the logic for the golf areas. You can see we are using spline data, green splines, fairway splines, bunker splines, and rough spline to get the logic for these golf areas. How this grass is surrounding the bunkers, how it surrounds the greens nicely. We have very nice cuts. Okay, and very dense. See, this is amazing how dense it is. It's the real life density. And I'm not fooling, you can see it. And you can watch far away, and there is so much grass. Alrighty. So you basically get very nice PCG graphs to start with. This is the second complicated, and it's very simple, but I think it's ingenious. We get the splines of these tennis and football areas and golf areas, and we just reduce them from the whole landscape. So we get the landscape grasses. And then we have football and tennis graphs, which are basically quite same, very simple and clever, but it doesn't have to be very complicated to be good. I think the more simple you have it, the more usable it is, and you get fast results doing with these graphs, and it's very easy to understand the basic logics. And then we have this PCG for trees, and here we have the spline areas for the first row here, and then these others we have used the football and tennis area spline to get trees surrounding them. So in the first place we wanted to, put the grass to those areas by spline, so we use the same spline to spawn trees surrounding those areas. Okay, and as you can see, the grass is everywhere. We can zoom and we can see that, and it's running fast, like you can see, maybe disturbingly fast. All right, and the next is textures, and we have textures for regals, and these are not broken. You just click them and you can see that they're working properly. So 8 kind of textures like this. You can see that they are transparent a little bit, so the landscape layer will also shine through a little bit. And then we have the blending also, which make it height blended and very nice when in use. So 8 of them, and we have those. So few textures for the grass blades, because they are basically all the same, but the meshes are different, of course. And then we have this landscape grasses, rock and sand. Rock is used only in few places here. This is, for example, one. And the other hill also uses. This is the only layer, the rock, that I have painted. Of course, first I fill all the landscape with deep rough layer, and what comes to the landscape materials, and then I import these layer infos in the landscape section to get the fairway textures and green textures, bunker textures and so on, and then I have lastly painted basically the rock layer. That's the way it's made. And these are the textures. You can see what kind of textures I have used. And this texture resolution needs to be the same as the landscape resolution. So my landscape is 4065, so that texture needs to be the same resolution. And that's the magic in them. Nothing's really nothing special. And then we have some other textures, some season settings, dry grass, and overlay image. You can try shorter meadow area, drier meadow areas. There is no effect, and there's a flag textures, and then we have only templates. So basically, that's the package. And if we want to little bit watch what's in this map, we can see, let's put the camera a little bit faster so we can get the image of the whole area. Football areas, tennis areas, that's the decals, flags, the football field, and golf greens also. Lighting settings, I have now put post-process off because I wanted to show you how far the grass is. You can see the grass very far away. If I have the post-process, and it blurs it, so that's off. But it's a lighting, it's a basic lighting, not really made much differences to it. We have these PCG graphs, and now when I click, you can see that it's spawning this grass by these splines. And partly these splines are under the landscape, that's why they're not seen everywhere, but you can get the picture. So like this, there's spline 1, it's a bunker, 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 and then these splines are used in PCG graphs. And those PCG graphs, they have these volume boxes, but they are not only spawning to those boxes, because if we watch this football and got this line sampler here, we have checked this unbounded checkbox. So if it's not checked, the grass is only spawned to this volume area here in the center of the football fields. And when you are debugging and making those PCG areas, you should not use this unbounded. But take this off and then debug by pressing D every node where you wanna check what the PCG volume is doing. Because if you accept grass for the whole landscape and then try to make some changes in this graph, it starts getting slow. So keep it fast and simple, and then when you see okay, it's good, then you just accept it for the whole landscape. And it doesn't take too many seconds to fulfill this landscape. But if you want to change a little bit one spline, or you sculpt the landscape or something like that, and it always affects to the PCG splines, I mean the spawning of the PCG volumes, it's really better to always press E key, it's same as enable or disable. When you press it, the E key, it disables it, and so you can do all the modifications you want, and then just enable them back and let the computer count the PCGs once, and then you see the result. It's the best way. So idea here is to keep you lawn grasses, cut lawn grasses and meadow grasses. I think marketplaces are lacking a very performant, good lawn for architectural purposes or whatever, sports grounds or meadows or parks or whatever. There is always lawns in every outside environments, or grass at least. So this is a package of good, very good and performant basic grasses. If you want to add flowers and stuff like that, it's wise to take those masked flowers and use a little bit less of them and more this kind of nanite opaque blending foliage, which has a minimum amount of polygons because they're made wisely. And all of these meshes, they are 50 centimeters times 50 centimeters mats. Only mat that is not is this special, the height of 6 millimeters grass. It is only 25 times 25 centimeters, and that is the grass we have used in those greens, but we have disabled it because we didn't want to use it because the texture is maybe better, because we in real life we can't see the grass blades in the golf greens, so we decided to leave it this way. So I guess basically that's all about this package. You can see when we go further away, which has always been my dream, when we go further away we don't see when Nanite is reducing the foliage, we will still see the shadows, everything. And when we go closer, the grass is perfect and everything is nice. When we go down here, we don't really see anything disappearing. It's just there. I think this is something quite special. We haven't seen this kind of grass, I think, in any package before. So this showcase map, it requires some good PC because we haven't used any culling, we haven't used anything to show how performant this is. And PCG is a really nice feature because you can control very accurately how you spawn it. It's really the way to go. And I think splines, and the splines we have used, sorry, I forgot to mention, this is quite important how the splines are used. So when you have spline like this, for example, you make it, first of all, you make it in the modeling mode, draw spline, and then don't forget to click auto tangent. This is the way you get splines that are smooth and it is fast. And then you click loop and you have it, you press accept and you have your spline. Go to the selection mode and you are good to go if you want to adjust these points and so on. And the way you make these Oh, now I'm just pressing the deleting the points here. I didn't need to do that. I just want to delete this spline actor as whole. So the key to use them is when you have a spline, you just search for the tag. Oh, sorry. I thought we were in the details, but we're not. Tag, and you press this plus button and you add the tag you want. I have used Punker tag. So we refer to the Punker tag in our PCG graphs. So after you have done the spline like I just did, you add the tag and you write it down here. And like you can see, the fairway splines have a fairway tag. Green has a green tag. Rough has a rough tag, and that is the one we have used in the PCG graphs. Like this. That's the logic. It's very simple, and when you need to do a very similar spline about to the same level, because spline is it acts a little bit like a mesh. You can copy it and you can scale it and stuff like that. Like if I have done this spline here, which is kind of separates the rough and the fairway part, and I can just copy this and scale it, and very easily I can have this green spline. And then just tag it as a green, and here we go. All the spawning has been done according to the splines here, but all the landscape, of course, is just all the landscape minus the splined areas. So now I think I have gone through all the basic features here. Of course, these material instances have lots of parameters. Like if you're interested in the landscape, about the landscape, you can see that this landscape material, like I showed before, it has one layer has this amount of parameters. They're very important. They have mow lines for the lawn grass. They have micro and macro variations. They have tint colors and all the stuff you need. Textures, of course, and normal maps, and some more about normal maps. I have far and close strength, so I can have a very strong effect when I'm close to the landscape, and when I'm further, it reduces the tiling and so on. There is much of logic in this asset, so this is more like a tool to make areas, not just a grass pack. I hope you liked what you saw, and I hope you are finding this pack useful, and will find it and try it. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.